Welcome everybody to our teen adult class here where we're just gonna keep the body moving through martial arts stuff. So first of all, namaste to you. And we're just gonna start off with a nice little hip twist that gets blood into the lower back and starts to warm things up. Good, from here we're gonna lean forward and bring our heels right up to our butt. So this kind of reverse running here helps to really stretch out the quadriceps and the hip flexors and get you warmed up. It's also, because the primary mover is the hamstring, it's really warming up the hamstring for future activities. Good, and then from here, we're just gonna go into a boxer shuffle from side to side. Now, a boxer shuffle can be done in any direction, so let's now go diagonally, top left, bottom right. Good. Let's bring our hands up. Let's start now. As we land our step, we're gonna time our punch. So we're just landing a jab punch, keeping our guard hand up. Nice. And pakwa, chin sides. Good, so we have a jab step and we're timing it with that jab punch. We can land that punch with a vertical punch or a 3/4 punch. And if we are able to keep our elbow in place, we can actually rotate the hand right around to a horizontal punch if needed. Good, and just bouncing up and down, nice and light. Good, and 360s, hana do set. Nice, and hana dual set. Usually you wanna alternate sides on this, hana dual set. One more, hana dual set. Good, and stutter stepping, please, go. Nice and quick. Again, just loosen up the muscles, get the heart rate going. Good job. Excellent, and lightly bouncing. Good, and right leg back, please, Jumbi. Good, we're gonna warm up our legs again with nice light spear kicks. The idea here is to get a little bit of extension at the beginning. Please begin, hana, and dur. Good, so just go ahead. This alternate sides, please, go ahead. Nicely done. Good. In the beginning, you're just lifting your knee and extending your leg. But as they get warmed up, we want to actually start getting the scoop in the hip. So we're extending our kick a little bit more. So now the spear kick is being pushed out further because we're dropping our hip down and pushing our hip out in alignment with the kick. Good. Now let's just speed it up a little bit, alternating sides, same kick, a little bit faster. Nicely done. Good, and straight into V-stepping, please, go. So with a V-stepping, we wanna make sure that the step is landed freeze, please, that your weight is equal on both feet, you're not front-loaded or rear-loaded. A lot of people are doing a step here, which is rear-loaded. So again, please continue. We wanna make sure that the stepping is that in a way that our weight is equally distributed between our front lead leg and our back leg. Now let's speed it up a little bit. Higher belt version of this is a Zhengra, where the student loads up their front left leg. Let's go there, left leg, please. And then they hangman with their back knee dropping down, then they come back to the other side. And so it's just a hangman where they're lifting up their back leg to avoid a kick. Good. So the back leg becomes totally unweighted. Excellent. And bro, good job. Right leg back, please, Jumbi. So now we're gonna alternate kicks as well, but we're gonna go into a front snap kick. When we do the front snap kick, the first one is front snap kick really low, and then switching the feet. The switching of the feet is fast, and the kick is smooth and about medium speed. Please begin. Now the footwork for the switching that they're usually here is basically a drop step, which we're gonna look at more closely in a few moments. Nice, and bro, good. So from here, feet are together. We're gonna do a foot check, step back into our stance, broken bow stance, elbows in, and we're gonna do a 1-2 step. Let's look at a 1 step first, just pakwa, that's a switch, 1 step, or 1 count. Now we're gonna do a 2 count beat where we're gonna go lift, 1, 2. So the front leg is coming up and touching, and the back leg replaces the front leg in front. So this is your drop step. And as they do their drop step, they can start to switch their distances and timing, and it can actually accelerate or add elastic potential from the ground up into kicks. Good, nice. And bro, back to a hip twist, please, good. And knees to the chest, ready, and hana do set. And hana do set. And bro, right leg back, please, Jumbi. So now we're gonna practice doing a drop step with our left leg gonna be the main kicking leg. As I drop step, I'm gonna come out and kick. When I do this, I'm trying to push off the ground to get that kick in. So we're gonna do drop step only on this side, and kicking with the left leg. Ready, and hana, and dul, and set, and pakwa, change sides. Let's try the right side. Now we're kicking with the right leg. Ready, and hana, and dul, and set, and pakwa, change sides. Good, now we're gonna look at just replacement step. So we wanna keep our body moving. So what we're gonna do right now is we're gonna bring our right foot up to the line of our left foot and move forward. So I'm just going to replacement step. As I do this, we're going to add in a little bit of a kick. So I'm going to go replacement, either spear kick or front snap kick. Please begin. You notice they're keeping their shoulders over their hips, hips over the knees, nicely balanced. The chin is tucked in, but the head's not really far forward. The arms are up and kind of creating a little bit of a shield in front of their body. Good. And baro, excellent. So one replacement step is just to replace the line of your step. The next replacement step is to actually replace location of your lead foot. So I'm going to be pushing off with my right, lifting up my left at the same time. Right lands where my left is, fire out my kick and come back. So now we'll just do a front snap kick and back into our stance. Ready, and alternate sides, please. And hana, dul, and set, and net, and toss, and yas, and ilgap, and yoro, and up, and yor. Good, and boxer shuffle, please. And bro, good. So now we're just gonna go into some hand striking. We're gonna start off with the hammer fist. With the hammer fist, we're just gonna make a nice tight fist, taking out any space in the middle, thumb over the first two digits. As I come down, number one action is down here. As I come down, there's a drop of my weight as I come in and hit with that hammer fist. But there's also a rotational, internal rotation as I'm coming through. The internal rotation helps to create a block. So I'm covering my center line and striking into my target. We're gonna put out our left hand and we're just gonna raise up our right hand, and notice that it's the elbow that leads this. So if the opponent jumps in, they're gonna get hit with an elbow. If they stay at their distance, they get hit with the hammer fist, okay? So let's just try to drop this in. One, good. Number one hammer fist, nice. Really try and bend at the knees, good job. Excellent. Now we're gonna go from number one here, bring up our live hand, make sure we got a good center line block, and then pointing our elbow, our hand goes on the outside, and we point our elbow to our opponent. As we start to extend our arm, when the arm gets to the point where it's maybe only got 10 or 15 degrees left in it, it's still bent, you start to unwind the hips. And that brings your guard hand right dead center. So let's try that again. Ready, hand is up, and strike for number two. Let's come back for number one. Now we'll keep this hand up. There's your one, high guard position, two. Ready, and one, and two, and one, and two. And keep going, please. Good, nice. And pakwachin sides. Good, ready, and hana, one, and two, and one, and two. Please continue. Now the nice thing about a hammer fist is that you get to hit with a soft part or muscly part of the bottom part of your hand, and you can make a nice fist which gets your fingers out of the way. So the advantage of this is blunt force trauma, hitting clavicles, noses, forearms. It's very useful and protects your hand. Good, and pakwachin sides, and just shaking it out. The other aspect is the knife hand is just an extension, so now we can hit into smaller places, whereas a hammer fist might not fit, knife hand does. So let's review our knife hands one and two. So from here, same thing, we're coming down, rotational force and momentum drop coming up, high guard, number two. But let's add in three and four. We come back and cover our temple. This hand goes out to block, and we come in, serve our pancakes. This hand comes back to the center line. Good for number three. From here, we push out with our guard hand, come in, drop down, point our elbow to the target, and hit our knife hand in towards the groin. So ready, and one, and two, and three, and four. Please continue. And I'm going to ask that with a knife hand on number one is down to that action, across, and up. Good. Nicely done. Excellent. And back to just relax, bouncing, shaking out the hands. From here, we're going to put our palms out. We're going to be running into our palms. We start off slow, stretching out the glutes, stretching out the hamstrings. Keep going, please. Thank you. Now we're going to put our hands up mid-torso. We're going to try and bring our hands a little higher. Our knees up into our hands now. Really stretching that out. Now we're going to go up to our armpits, go as high as we can. Get those knees as far up our torso as possible. Good, and relax and shake it out. Good job. Nicely done. Roll it back, Jumbi. We're going to start off with double spear kicks. Each time at the end of the double spear kicks, we switch sides. Ready, and hana. 1, 2, and switch. Ready, and dul. 1, 2, and switch. And set. And net. And toss. And yosid. And ilgab. And yodel. And pakwa chin sides. Right leg back, let's go. Good. Now we're going to do low point kick. On this point kick, as soon as you kick, you're going to go back the way you came with your rechamber. Low meaning about knee height for us, okay? Ready, and hana. Dul. Set. Net. Pakwa chin sides. And hana. Dul. Set. Net. And pakwa chin sides. Now, as we do our point kick, we're going to be looking at doing a very hapkido-ish roundhouse, another name for the point kick. We're going to bring our knee, instead of bringing it up here like we're trying to hide what kick it's going to be, front snap kick, side kick, point kick, we're going to actually bring our back knee and bring it about 10 degrees to 15 degrees out here. And then as we bring the kick up, then we stack our hips, and then we'll get the rotation in. So now it's going to be a little bit wider, but a little bit more powerful kick. When you're kicking, air kicking, still control the end of the kick so you're not damaging your ligaments in your knee. Ready, and hana, and change sides. Ready, dul. Nice, change sides, and alternating section. Please continue. Good, the belt's coming down. Good, nice, that's it. So you'll notice that their hands stay up throughout the whole kick. The hands aren't dropping at all. Good, and right leg back, please, Jumbi. Good, now just watching instructor Ian kick, he's gonna hold the kick at the end. You're going to notice that his right hand with the right lead leg, if it falls, it's on that side of the body. That hand falls, it's on the other side of the body. So the arms help to maintain that balance. Also for striking, if he steps down and moves forward, he's got his hands up and right where they should be. Good. Thank you very much. Bouncing nice and light. Good. Excellent. Okay, from here, we're going to go down. We're going to do half burpees. In the half burpee, all we're doing is we're bending our knees, go down into a squat, place our hands out, back, and then try and push your hips underneath you as you come back up again. So there's no push up in this one, just a regular half burpee. Ready, and hana. Good. Bull. Hopefully you have room to do this at home. Sit. So kicking the dog out of the room. Net. Toss. And yosid. And then we're finishing off with light squats, hands at heart center. And we go to a squat position that feels comfortable for us. That may be, you know, halfway, maybe bum in the dirt. But the objective is to keep your weight on the heels and to have your tibia or your shin be fairly upright. Notice how as we're dropping down, there's going to be the bum's going to go south, shoulder's going to go a little bit north, and that's okay. Try and look up, keep the back fairly straight, but you're loading up your heels. The squat is a martial artist's bread and butter because it develops the strength in the quadriceps, hamstrings. It's even not the calf muscle so much, but the lower back. And it's really an all-around great exercise to develop the flexibility, but the strength as well. Good, good, excellent. And right leg back, please, Jumbi. Okay, now from here, we're gonna go into some more striking. So we're gonna start off, we're gonna be working on just jabs and crosses. So as we do our jab cross, we're going to add in a little bob and weave. So let's start off with our jab. Our cross was that twist, a little bob, and right into our cross. And that's what we're going to be doing. So let's look at it from the ground here. We have our broken bow stance. It's equal when we do our jab. There's no motion at all in the legs. When we do our cross, there's a slight load to the front leg and twisting and coming on back. When we come on back, try and drop your elbow in the center line and bob down, and then kind of come around and then power off that right leg as you throw your cross. Let's all go vertical fists, And let's stay on the same side. Ready, and hana, do, bob and weave, cross. Ready, jab, cross, bob and weave, cross. On your own, please continue. Now, if you're doing this at home, let's check a few things. The chin is down, protecting the neck. You're looking through the defender's eye or fighter's eye. So someone's looking at you, you can only see the bottom half of your eye. Your hands can either be close to your cheekbones or your forehead. In other words, covering your face. Your forearms are covering your chest. And pakwa, change sides. And let's start the same thing on the other side. Please continue. The other aspect of this is that your hands can be slightly off your face. So if you were wearing gloves, you can practice with them really close to your cheekbones. If you're not wearing gloves, like more realistic self-defense, maybe then your hands are slightly further out, and yet you're doing the same drill, and it's all the technique is pretty much identical. Hands further out just maybe gives you a better blocking position when you got no gloves on your hands. Good stuff. And bro, just rolling the shoulders, everybody. Nicely done. From here, we're just going alternating number fours. So you'll notice when I do my right elbow, number 4, I drop back with my right foot and do a ball heel exchange. And then I switch to the other side. Ready? Please begin. It's looking good. Excellent. And on your stomachs, please. And into a plank position with your palms or fists on the ground and just holding. So now we want to make sure that we're, working on our core and we're developing that core strength, which is a lot of muscles really. And what we're going to really focus on right now is just holding it and waiting till we start to tremble. So if you've been doing a lot of core exercises, even if you're walking a lot, it's developing your core. But you'll notice that your body will start to tremble a little bit, and that's your muscles signaling you that that's the good time. This is the time that you want. When you're starting to tremble, see if you can hold it for a little bit. And then relax, all right? And let's all go to our knees here. Good. And so with our hands on our knees and we're sitting on top of our heels, we're just gonna come up and push our hips forward and then back down again. Good, come up, get that extension in the hip flexors. Now we're gonna come up with the left leg in front. Good, and then come on back. Sit right back on the heels, get a good stretch in those quadriceps. Come up, right leg in front, push forward, come back. This time we'll do a left leg in front. We're gonna scooch a little bit further forward. Good, and we're gonna stretch and push our hips forward and then come on back down. When we're doing lots of kicking, it's important that we stretch out these muscles with our hip flexors especially, and come on back down. Good. From here, we're just gonna come up left leg in front. I hope this is comfortable, that you're on a carpet. If you're not, then please just stay maybe off of this one because it's hard on a hardwood floor. We're gonna drop your left knee, lift up your right. Then drop your right, lift up your left. Then we're gonna go knee to heel, slide in, do the same thing. Drop left, lift up right, step, scooch in, drop right, lift up left. One more time, slide in, drop, lift, slide in, drop, and lift. Good job. And standing up. Great. Now we're just going to go to our hooks. So we're going to start off here as we hook. Right hook, right leg is going to be back for now. And of course, you can easily hook with the front leg. If you do that, you're going to turn your foot into the direction of the hook, so you're aligning your strength and your biomechanical force. Good. So let's go right leg back. We're going to start off. We're going to get both of them in now. So we're going to go ball heel exchange, hook. Wrists come, look like they're almost touching. Drop that inner elbow, hands in the center line, lift up the left elbow. Now I get to pivot that left foot in the direction of the strike. Powered in, drop, switch. 1, drop, 2, drop, 3. Drop that elbow in, good job. Nice. Excellent. Now let's take a look at the hand position. As I punch with a hook, if it's in close, I can be vertical like my hand is right now, vertical, hitting with the 2 knuckles, or I can be horizontal. But if I'm punching and I'm doing an extended hook way out here, and I'm vertical fist, the chances are I won't hit with those 2 knuckles. I'll hit with these knuckles or bear claw, and I might break my fingers. So generally speaking, if you just keep horizontal on your hooks, you're good for both extension and in close. So from here, 1 and 2, and 1 and 2. Good, and shuffling your feet, please. Is that the end of the class? Okay. Thanks, everybody. That wraps up our time. We hope you had a good workout. Please feel free to extend this and work out further and longer. Right now, we're going to go into a mukto and a quick coach's corner. I wish to thank Instructor Brad and Instructor Ian for doing all the work here today. Namaste. And show. Chiriet. Kanye ki. Mukto jambi. Mukto shishak. If your nose will allow, breathing in through your nose and gently out through your mouth. Try and relax every part of your body, shoulders, neck, facial muscles. One of the intentions here is to allow your mind just to gently slow down and stop. All thoughts are welcome, but we don't dwell on them. We just let them come and go. Slowly opening the eyes. Makto baro. Sho. Chiriet. Kanye. We hope you enjoyed this live streaming. I'm just simply going to go into a coach's corner designed again for teens and for adults. We've often talked in the studio about intentions, and having an intention is great, especially if you're aware of it and you're conscious of the type of intentions that you hold in your mind and in your heart. And good intentions are not good enough because you can intend to do something and never follow through. So attention helps you to focus on opportunities and behaviors that you wish to adopt and display. And the intention is not going to get you there. The intention just focuses you on that opportunity. It's like the door opens, but you're going to have to walk through. It's like the focus is now on, let's say, great behavior, but you have to seize each moment to be conscious of your behavior. So again, intentions are wonderful, and yet we need to take them further. So today we're just going to do a quick little story. It's about a restaurant owner, and they have developed a real family around their restaurant. They got, of course, servers and cashiers and cooks, and it's a wonderful little family that's developed together. And the owner, at the end of each evening, kind of does a little wrap up and a pep talk. And, you know, how did we do tonight? Did we do great service? And what was our intentions like? Did we really intend to be bright and welcoming to our clients, even though we might be a little bit down or frustrated? And so with that little group around that restaurant, they really became close, talking about philosophy, talking about how to make their business and their lives better at the end of each evening. Also at the end of each evening, once in a while, you know, the owner would say, hey, we need to be careful of this. And one of the things that they needed to be aware of was there'd been some robberies in the area, and the police were warning them to, you know, be a little bit careful with their security. So the owner turned to their staff and said, please, when you're taking the garbage out, make sure you lock the door behind you so no one can come in when we're unaware. So you need to take your keys with you when you're taking out the trash. And so everybody agreed to that. 2 days later, it was a Friday evening. Everybody was wrapping up, and they just finished their family talk. And the owner of the restaurant said, hey, I'm going to take care of the garbage. Can you guys please reset the front of the restaurant? And I'm going to put the cash, the till, into the vault. And they all agreed, and off the owner went. When the owner actually left the building to take out the trash, they forgot their own rule. And when they came back, they realized, oh, I didn't even close the door, let alone lock it. And they quickly came in, looked around, and thought, oh, we're good. There's nobody here. With that, the owner picked up, had already taken the money and put it into the vault. The owner picked up and went towards the front of the store, only to be greeted in the shadows by a figure that looked really drawn and sweaty and upset and angry. And the owner's thinking this person's coming down from some drug, and then noticed the gun, the revolver in the person's hand. Shakingly, the person was waving the gun at the owner and saying, open up the vault, get me the cash, do it now. And the owner wisely complied, said, yeah, absolutely, whatever you need, you can relax, you don't need to point the gun at me, I'm gonna. And the Person threatened them again. Quickly, hurry up, do this. And the owner is now dialing in the vaults combo when the first shot goes off, then the second, and then slumping against the vault door, sliding down. The owner has been shot 3 times by a person who's like almost like didn't even want to shoot them. It's like the gun just went off. The attacker leaves. All the staff run into the back of the restaurant. They've called 911. The ambulance is on their way, and they're trying to put pressure on the wounds. The ambulance gets there in record time. The owner is now in the back of the ambulance. Oxygen drip is on, and they're rushing to the hospital. And the owner is going in and out of consciousness. And when the owner is now on a gurney being rushed down to the operation room, he hears the nurse and the doctor talking about his vitals, and they're saying, it doesn't look good. It doesn't look like they're going to make it. And at that point now, they're in the operating room, and the nurse is yelling at the top of her lungs to try and get through to the restaurant owner, what's your name? And really being loud so he can maybe respond. Are you allergic to anything? Are you allergic to anything? And the owner grasps the nurse's arm and looks at her for the first time, eyes open, and goes, yes, bullets. And with that, the nurse and the doctor just kind of heave out a big laugh, and they're laughing. And then the next words that come out of the restaurant owner's mouth is, please, please have your intention that when you operate on me, that I will live. Make your intention what you want it to be. And at that, nitrous oxide's on, and the patient's down, and they operate on the restaurant owner. And good news, restaurant owner lives, because that's the way I wanted to end the story tonight. So our intentions are indeed powerful. Humor to break up tension, to allow people to focus on what they really want and not on what they don't want. We wish all of you a fantastic day. Take good care, be safe, and we'll see you at our next live streaming. Namaste.